the Pakistan train hijacking, and according to reports, Baloch separatists have taken scores of passengers hostage, including security personnel, after attacking a train in southwestern Pakistan. Local police reports say that nearly 350 other passengers are believed to be safe. The Baloch Liberation Army, a separatist group, has claimed responsibility, saying that they will kill the hostages unless security forces pull out of the region. Well, to talk more about this, we're now joined by Sarah Zaman, who joins us from Islamabad. Thank you so much for being with us. And what is the latest you can share with us? Because there are so many conflicting reports and numbers that are emerging.
Yes, that is true. We're getting very little information because security sources are revealing information very carefully and in very small quantities. So far, what I have confirmed is that at least 70 passengers were released earlier in the day, and they walked about 6 kilometers on foot to the nearby Panir station. So we know that at least 70 people are safe. As far as the operation is concerned, the only reports we're getting so far is that a security operation is ongoing in the area, and there is exchange of fire between militants from BLA and the military.
That's right. And one of the latest, information or message given out by the BLA, they're even threatening to execute hostages if demands are met. Also, there are a lot of security personnel, soldiers who are, have been taken hostage.
So again, we're waiting for confirmation on these numbers because BLA, like many other militant outfits, they do tend to describe whatever the situation is in an exaggerated manner so that they can create panic and fear. And that is why we have to be very careful when we see their claims. And that is why we're waiting for security officials also to corroborate those statements. So we know so far that security officials do travel, military officials do travel between different cities via train. So there is a possibility that there are a number of security officials present on these trains. But how many are being held hostage, if any, that is something we have to wait for confirmation from official sources.
Right. And, Sarah, if you could also just share with us, what are the kind of demands being made? They're also asking for the release of political prisoners.
So overall, BLA has a general demand, which is that Pakistani security officials as well as Pakistani state should leave this area, that they see Pakistan's investment in this area and Chinese investment in this area as basically a problem. They believe that that the Pakistani state is robbing the Balochistan province of its resources. So in general, they want security as well as the Pakistani state to leave this area. But in terms of specific demands, we're basically, again, just waiting for security forces to clear the area. And in terms of that, the information, like I said, is very slow to come. And it seems it's, to a great extent, it's a blackout. And that's largely because this area is also very far from easy to access places, because even though it's not too far from the provincial capital of Quetta, there's not really any road that leads to this area. There's only the train track, and the area is surrounded by arid mountains. So in that case, it's very difficult right now to get any information, and it's also difficult to conduct the operation. And it's an area that BLA militants are very familiar with. The question is, how well familiar are the security forces with this area?
All right. So a very remote area, also given the sensitivity, perhaps, the information is not so forthcoming. But, while one has heard of trouble in Balochistan over the, last couple of years, last couple of months, but this sort of serious incident in which a train has been hijacked, was there any indication? Is there any talk of intelligence failure?
So in Balochistan, we have seen terrorism rise in the last 1 year or so. In fact, BLA has emerged as the second most deadly group in Pakistan. The Global Terrorism Index that was released last week, it explained that in last year, the BLA was able to conduct about 116 attacks in 2023, and then last year they were able to ramp it up to 504 attacks, and they were able to also increase casualties. So BLA is definitely emerging as a huge threat in Balochistan. And in terms of the nature of this attack, this was, yes, it was a very unexpected and very massive attack, especially looking at the situation, like you said, a train is being held hostage. Now, last year in November, BLA staged an attack at Quetta train station. And in that attack, which was one of the deadliest last year, 26 people died and a large number of the casualties were military personnel in that also. Now, right now, we know that because the province is in the throes of a wave of terror, a wave of violence, so security is on high alert. There is intelligence constantly being exchanged. And we have seen a document that said that there was a security threat in the area, but it did not specifically say that there was any security threat to any specific train or any train station. It was more of a general sense of threat in the area. So this is also something that as this episode wraps up, it comes to an end, and there is a security analysis, then we'll have a better picture of whether this was an intelligence failure, whether there had been any pointed intelligence about any mode of transportation being targeted.